Hi, I'm Gijs, and in this video I will show you how to set up a monitor in PromptWatch. So before you go and set up your monitor, you need to make sure that a couple things are set up correctly. First off, the brand book. This is a summary of what your company does based on the website, and it's used as input for suggesting the right prompts later on. Then the second step is to select your competitors. And this is something that you can do either when you have created a monitor, so then we suggest competitors, but you can also create competitors yourself and add them here. Finally, we have marketing personas. And a marketing persona will be attached to a certain monitor to make sure that the prompts are as useful as possible. So here you can create a persona, give it a name, give it a description, age range, and education level. And this way the prompts inside the monitor are adjusted accordingly. Then we can really start to create a monitor. In monitoring, you have a couple of overviews. So you have all your monitors, you have all the prompts across all the monitors, all the responses across all your monitors, and finally, all the citations across all the responses across all monitors. So that's what you can see here. So now we can go back to the monitor and click here in the right top on New Monitor. And what you want to do here is a couple things. So you want to give your monitor a name. And this should be easy to separate the monitors from different monitors. So I'm doing this for homestra.com. It's a website for second homes in Europe. So I want to focus on second homes in Spain. And my description can be second homes in Spain, informational / commercial prompts. Here I select the language I want the prompts to be in, so English, and the country I want the results to be localized for, the United States, for example. Here I can optionally, and to give extra instructions, I choose not to for now. And then here I can select my persona. Here in the next step, I want to select the models that I actually want to start optimizing for later on. So what you want to do here is select models that are relevant for your brand. A couple of ways of going about this is we always advise to go for ChatGPT, Perplexity, Google AI overviews, and depending on what you see in your crawler logs, if you have them connected, you can select other models as well. Now, in the final step, PromptWatch will suggest 5 prompts to start monitoring with, and this is really to kickstart your monitor. So in a later step, you can actually increase the amount of prompts that you're tracking. We'll click Create Monitor, and then we are inside the monitor. So when I go to my monitor overview, I see my new monitor, Second Homes in Spain. And what I can do now under the tab Prompts is start to expand this list. So if you already have prompts in mind from different research that you've done, you can add them here manually. You can batch upload them here. So if you already have a list, you can just copy paste them here and add them to the list. You can generate more prompts with AI. So I can say, let's just add 10 extra prompts. Prompt type should be organic and informational. And then I'm generating the prompts. And then the system comes up with 10 new prompts, and then you can see them inside your list. Delete them if you like them, or maybe create similar ones if you want more of the same prompt variation. So as you can see, they were added to the list. So I can say, okay, I don't want this one anymore, so I delete it. Or I want to delete this one as well. And what is happening is right now is that based on your subscription type, so if you have an essential license, the data will be refreshed on a weekly basis. If you have a professional license or upwards, your data will be refreshed daily, but we'll get the responses from the different AI models. So in the case of this monitor, it's ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Google AI overviews. And in the responses, you'll start to see the models and the responses popping up. You can also select the actual response and see what is going on. So you can see, okay, this is the prompt, this is the corresponding AI response, and these are the citations that were used. Inside the citations tab, you can actually see all the citations that were used across all the models, all the responses. But you can also filter for it. So you can look at, okay, are these competitors actually mentioned here, and with what kind of sources are they mentioned? And this is, of course, the key to start optimizing your own AI search visibility for the prompts inside the monitor. You can also look how your competitors are doing. So in the overview, you will get a visibility score. And a visibility score is a score between 0 and 100%, how visible you are on average in each prompt. 50% means that your brand is mentioned about halfway inside the response. 100% means that you're the first one that is mentioned, and 0% means that you're not mentioned at all. Citation rank is really about if you're linked inside the answers. So your brand can be mentioned, but if your website is not linked, it's hard to attribute traffic to your website from AI search. So in the competitors, you can see the actual visibility score of your competitor. So you can see who's doing the best. So for example, Idealista, and see, okay, inside the citations, okay, with what kind of sources are they showing up? And as you can see here, their visibility score is quite high, but they're not even cited. So that's very interesting information, of course. In the responses, you can also see what is my visibility score and am I actually being cited, so that you can start to see, okay, what is actually going on. Finally, we have the answer gap, and here you can generate a report with recommendations on what to do and how to improve for the specific prompts inside the monitor. In settings, you can adjust your monitor settings. So you can select extra models, you can change the language of the prompts and change the country you want the results to be localized for.